Welcome, 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 trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solution Show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED2. Well, greetings. I have the PH.
I have the M.
We
both have D's. That makes us Doc Squared.
The title of the day's show, The Salvation Dash Hip Hope.
Ah, yes. But we have a little more information to give you about the Hip Hope Trio Plus. We're going to be doing our guerrilla concerts in probably another 3 weeks. And we would love to have our crew be directed by all of our fans. Mm-hmm. So if you can think up a location, a supermarket, a store of some sort, or even just on the street, a nice corner somewhere where you think a good singing group could raise a crowd. That's what we want you to send us. We want you to tell us about it so that we can consider it as a location for our guerrilla concerts in about 3 weeks. Lord says the same. We're also setting up a trip at the end of the year to go to Ghana. The Hip Hop Trio Plus is going to be performing there if the Lord says the same and the ancestors agree. But now, Hip Hope, the Salvation. Okay.
And that image is ready already.
Yes, it is. Imagine that. I love doing this. Y'all just don't know.
Now, is it time for that?
Yes, it is time for it. This is Hip Hope, the Salvation.
Yes, imagine that.
The voice page gives you an introduction to hip hope. Now, just in case y'all don't know, hip hope is positive, conscious hip hop. That's what it is.
Without being preachy, corny, or outdated, but still relevant to
Did
today's market, Doc.
Yes, sir. That is absolutely correct, my brother.
All right, did you two have this discussion about this?
No, we did not.
Okay, so we're...
Okay. Let me have, yes, ma'am. Come on, give me closer. Because I need to, yeah. Right. This is Hip Hope, the Salvation. And in the beginning was the beat, and it was good. It was funky, and it was sublime. It spawned the reach of lyrics, and they blended to form a song. The song was sung, and the beat pounded the mind and moved the body and soul. The lyrics searched for meaning and became confused. Many came to add their voices to the song and the beat. The graffiti artist, the breakdancer, and the MC all added their ingredients to the brewing stew. Spices, flavorings, and a tincture of thyme were stirred into the pot, and it was set to boiling as it set the world on fire. Chefs from the East Coast wanted to supersize it, so they used a chef named Biggie. Chefs from the West declared it Tupac, to be forgotten. The job of making it relevant was taken by the KRS-One after the last poet stopped making lyrics. What is described above is an artist's description of the formation of hip-hop, a cultural phenomenon and a way of life. I am that artist. It doesn't adequately depict the commercial invasion and the degradation that has eroded the message and the medium to the point that the way of life is both destructive and limited instead of the enabling and expressive art form it started out being. There was an invasion from the West by niggas with attitudes, NWA. A constitutional point scored by 2 Live Crew, Luther and his bunch. And then the race was on to be the most shocking and profane rapper around. Luke proved that profanity sells, despite parental advisories and congressional wife of the vice president outrage. What was lost was the message and the method. What remains was the ability to influence the youth of our nation and the world, and to direct both their minds and spirits. Okay, hold that just for a second, because I'd like to give you my own personal introduction to hip-hop. You see, I was an orchestra musician, and I had lately taken to playing in jazz ensembles, R&B groups. I actually played in an R&B group in Lexington, Kentucky, my first year of medical school. I even was on a radio contest with a song called The Mule Pokey. Yeah. But I did not appreciate hip-hop at all until after I'd gone through medical school. I'd gone through internship and residency in Washington, D.C. at Howard. And I had also become both medical director for Intercounty Health Systems of Martinsburg, West Virginia. And I went on to become medical director of Cicely Island Medical Center in Cicely Island, Louisiana. I had moved on and started my own private practice in Arcadia, Louisiana. I was also the director of the Bienville Parish Hospital Emergency Room. My nephew Robbie, my sister Beth, her name, we call her Betty, her son, her youngest boy, Robbie, called me and asked me, could he come down and visit? I said, sure, come on, Mike. And he came down and spent about a month and a half with me in Arcadia. And he introduced me to hip-hop. And he specifically said, you really ain't into hip-hop like that? And I said, no, not really. I don't like all that cussing and bullshit that they're going through. He said, but have you heard some of the more avant-garde, upright people? I said, like who? And he said, well, there's this guy I've been listening to called KRS-One. And he's really, really, really good, and he really, really says some great things. I said, well, let me listen to him. Let me see what's up. So he introduced me to a song called Why Is That? And one of the lines, or at least I'm trying to bring my memory into play here, to remember this song that came out in, 87, something like that. White people trying to get us to be where they at. You don't try to teach a dog to be a cat. Why is that? He went on throughout the song to bring up historical, cultural, personal, even sexual orientations that seem to be rather twisted, and pink people seem to enjoy the twist and want everybody else to enjoy the twist also, even though the twist has been shown to be wrong, harmful, not enabling at all. They, according to KRS-One and me too, still wanted the world to do the stuff that logic and reason says you should not. That turned me on to hip hop. I went to the music store right after I listened to Why Is That? And I bought every piece of music that KRS-One had in that place. And also picked up about maybe 4 or 5 different albums from other hip hop artists. I got turned on then, and I've been turned on ever since I first listened to Why Is That. I listened to that and was stuck, caught, hook, line, and sinker. I swallowed it all.
We're glad that Carla has joined us.
Yes,
Anything
indeed.
goes with Carla.
Anything
and
goes with that.
Random brother
Hey,
Vids.
family.
Hello.
Yes, indeed. The boys
the
in there.
twins, Kendall twins.
The Manzies.
We're
We
so
love
happy
it.
that you're with us.
Yes, we are. Hot dog. This is such a beautiful thing. Okay. I got into hip hop. I was into the shows, the music, the culture, the art, the performances, the styles, the swag. I was into all of that. And even though I understand but rejected some of the NWA and Two Live Crew lyrics, I respected them saying it. Hip hop became the medium by which I wish to communicate, not just with the world, but especially with the youth of this planet. Can I get back to that Salvation Hip Hop? That's it. Yes,
No,
same
no,
one.
no, no, no,
Same
no,
one.
none of those.
None of
right
those.
where you were.
Right where you were. Okay.
No,
All right,
you
boy.
passed it
Oh,
up.
look at it. Look at that. I love it. I love it. I truly love it. Yeah.
It was the very first one you
The
put
very
up.
first one you put up. That's
All
the one.
right, that's cool.
That's the one.
And there's another page after
Okay.
that.
We now meet to revise that direction and regain those messages that are not only desired, but sorely needed right now, more than ever. As such, we present the laws of hip hop, a manifesto for the rebirth of an art form that never truly died, but is sick as hell right now. Next page, please, ma'am. Okay, next page. That's it.
Excellent.
That's it. When in the course of human events,
A little closer.
there exists a crisis of such social, cultural, and moral and personal significance that a people, a nation, and a world may rest in the balance. Persons are called upon to speak, then act towards and for the resolution of that crisis, offering not only solutions, but reasons and alternatives that speak to the true motivation of the betterment of all people through an understanding and love. This is where mankind is right now. This is where the United States has arrived, and the rest of the world is right there with us. We are frustrated with our own leaders.
Ashe.
We are not following the democratic thesis that has led us from 1776 till right now, to really about 2015 when Line 44.5 became president. We are a divided nation, a divided people, a divided country, a divided world. And that division is basically along two lines. Age, the old people being in a different reality and young people being in a totally different reality, and culture or race. I say culture or race because it is more culture than race that divides us. The people who we're having problems from are rich pink people. They are tired of not having all the power that they're used to having. And they see more and more of it slipping away. And it's slipping away to people of different races, different cultures, different ages, and they are very, very, very upset. And as a result, trying to bring up the old divisions that separated humanity and that caused so much chaos and death. We're tired of pursuing that, pink people. We need something else. And that's why we need the salvation. Let's take it back to that first article.
Second one you just put up.
Hip hope.
Hip hope. Hot dog. That's it. Music is a fundamental function and need of mankind. The earliest of our species made music, and it is the one constant in the history of man. Whatever the place, time, or situation, music is a source of spiritual, emotional, and even physical refreshment and pleasure. It warms our hearts, vents our frustrations, explains our world, and gives us meanings. In any language, it paints pictures of the complexities and experiences of living. And these form the impressions of our collective social environment. As a people, we often communicate in the language of shared cultural experience, whether that experience is sport, business, or entertainment. The most pervasive form of entertainment has always been and continues to be music. More than that, music speaks in ways and on levels no other method can match. It excites, calms, moves, or relaxes you, touching you on conscious and unconscious levels to bring psycho-emotional responses. It is a powerful force that has swayed humanity for centuries. Yes. Article 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's getting good now, y'all. It's really, really, really getting good.
That image of Article
And this is
2.
why we have edutainment. This is why we teach with music. This is why all of my classes have a space in it for the music. All living things have a personal and genetic direction that can be plotted as a vector. Each individual is a collection of material, genetic and otherwise, that represents a point in space and time for that species. Each of you who are listening to me is a point in space and time for the human species and your family. Mathematics teaches that by drawing a line connecting two similar points in space and time, you create what is termed a vector. A vector can show you direction, position, and speed. Imagine a blank chalkboard that you now place a chalk dot in the right upper quadrant. This dot represents you. The sides of the board represent space, that's the y-axis. And the bottom edge of the board represents time, the x-axis. Now place another dot at the left side of the board near the lower quarter. That dot represents one of your ancestors at an earlier time in another space. Now draw a line linking the 2 points in space and time. Put an arrow on the top end if you want to. It allows you to visualize the flow of time and the direction implied by linking these 2 points. It may also help you to envision the concept of speed of flow from one point to another or to a future place and time. The benefit and necessity of introducing this concept is to point out that all of mankind, and indeed all of life, has direction and course, heading in some direction. We are not static, stationary, or immobile as a person, a culture, a species, or an expression of life. We are all heading in some direction.
Sure.
That direction, I think, is being plotted by a being I call God. We should be concerned and involved in making sure that direction is as, next page, please.
Not next page, just down.
Down. Is as beneficial as possible. There you go. Way to go. My God, my God. As I said before, that direction, I believe, is planned by this being we called God. God sees, understands, knows all that was, all that is, and all that shall be. And all that shall be is the future that God has wanted, dictated, and created for all life.
Next image.
Wow. This is
Grand.
Article 3. Humanity has, as a whole, a large social function with a primary goal of providing a varied mix of people with several unifying forces, factors, and characteristics. This is what mankind has been doing, and this is where mankind has been going. There are, however, some themes, points of view, and topics, as well as some presentations that are more effective at unifying than others. This is the thing we need to understand. The whole purpose of all these different races, nations, languages, skin shades, eye slant, hair texture, is to provide differences that we can utilize for the advancement of humanity. If all humanity was one country, one race, one culture, we would have nothing to add, nothing to blend, nothing to mix, nothing to allow us to advance and be enabled beyond that singularity that we all are. No. We are multiples because that is one of our benefits. That is how mankind, that is how life hybridizes to a higher level of evolutionary gifting. Some concepts and performances are not unifying in the least. And some are just plain old divisive, if not downright destructive. And this is what pink people have been using for about 2,000 years on each other, on others, and on themselves. For the benefit of ourselves and our inheritors, we should limit or avoid music that is destructive or divisive. It does not bind, it decimates social structure and social unity. Believe it or not, this is usually high-pitched music that is played very, very hard and fast.
Next image.
Okay, woo. Article 4. An essential element for the development and proper growth of all mankind is hope/faith. Many of the worst parts of the present status of hip-hop is attached to the fact that the universal use of negative and abusive terms for people is a general and spreading sense of fatalism that sees everyone as A, B, A, N, I, G, G, A. And strangely enough, I am, okay, I'll tell you the truth. I was actually smoking a cigarette earlier today in the back of my house and listening to this song that was being played on a motorcycle of some guy who's at the corner of Martin Luther King and Kinsman. And it was just as vile and nasty. Every other word was bitch this and pussy that, and I'm gonna fuck you and then suck you on that. Yeah, all of this loud on the street, traveling for blocks, if not miles. The violent, drug-ridden, bullet-riddled, sexually immature world of today's rapper is not one to inspire any hope, faith, or optimism. We can find a better way to locate a factor that can assist our people in bringing to bear on their lives a force described as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That is the definition for a substance called faith. That is the essential ingredient of anything, any person, or any movement that states as a portion of its purpose to involve the element hope. As so, the concepts that provide not only the desirability, but the absolute need for hip hope are born out of the waning elements of one of the greatest cultural movements of our or any other time. The transparent model of our mandate arises. We the people do pledge before God and upon our very lives as artists to produce quality entertainment of all kinds and on all levels to uplift and motivate the minds, bodies, and spirits of all mankind. Peace, which stands for proper education, always corrects error. Now, that is the declaration of hip hope. That is what we do. That is how we perform. And believe it or not, in almost every venue that we have ever been in, just about everybody who listens to our concerts is changed from the person they were before they came to that concert. Because they learn things about themselves, humanity, their families, their own ancestors that they generally never understood at all. Though sometimes, most of the times, they had a knowing that stuff was going on. They had very little to no understanding about what the hell it was or why. We give that, and we give that through edutainment. We give that through the music of your spirit. It gives you the you have been missing. You are not just a body, as pink people have used our ancestors for hundreds of years. You're not just a mind, which we are just now starting to understand how to access and utilize. You are a trivalent being with a spirit that you need to, number one, understand, but number two, train. so that you can do those humanistic things that right now you can't even imagine. Sorry. But once you get to that point, you will be able to do things that, again, right now you cannot imagine. This is being in a position we call meta. But another way of describing that same circumstance and situation is that you are finally not just free. Now you are on the other side of freedom. And the other side of freedom is where all mankind was destined to go by the Most High. We got a song for you with that same message. We're going to talk to you after the song about some of its statements and meanings. But Penny Hand, from way back when, sings lead on this song called The Other Side of Freedom. Listen to this.
As I begin my journey home, I travel down this lonely road. And when I think of all I've seen, my spirit starts to bother me. Now I don't know who to try. And when I felt like giving up, the light at the end of the tunnel just gets brighter and brighter. 'Cause I'm free. 'Cause I'm free. Free from oppression. Yeah. You may have my body, but you cannot control my soul. 'Cause I'm free. You can't harm me no more. You must let me go. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Now I'm living for a brighter tomorrow. Yeah. I'm finally free. I'm on my feet to do what I want, to be who I please, and that's to be me. And it's worry free. Yeah, it's worry free. Worry free. Worry free. Check. I was rolling down the street and I'm hearing no sirens, no hatred, just peace. 'Cause where I'm from, you see, the police beat on the ones that look like me. And now I'm happy to be finally free from this brutality that's put out we. Now we're finally free. Finally. 'Cause I'm free. Free from oppression. Yeah. You may have my body, but you cannot control my soul. 'Cause I'm free. You can't harm me no more. You must let me go. Finally, the day has come, the one I've been waiting for, the one I've been dreaming about. I'm walking through that open door. I'm starting to smell the fresh air, the leaves blowing in the breeze. I wanna go down and kiss the ground and let them see me on my knees. And I My body feel kinda heavy and my spirit done left this place. Keeping me captive in your prison, you can't take my time and space. Take this journey while I'm with you, and I promise we gon' fly. Take my hand and stay together, cause we on the other side. Talking the other side of freedom, can't you hear me when I soar? Got the wind beneath my wings, now can't you hear me when I roar? Screaming freedom, 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 freedom. That's right, I'm free. Cause I'm free. So free, so free. And what you see makes me mine. Cause I'm free. Cause I'm free. Free from oppression. Yeah. I'm free. Because I'm free. Cause I'm free. You must let me go.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
Uh-huh. You see, your mind cannot ever be free unless you start using your spirit to free it. That's the trick that pink people do not understand, and they don't want anybody else to either. You are a trivalent being. Body, mind, spirit. You need to understand how you function. Mind, body, spirit. You need to learn how to control your abilities. Mind, body, spirit. And when you do, you are what we call, again, meta. And everybody knows meta be better. Straight up, no chaser.
Now, before the show is over, we like for you to call us and ask the question. The number is at the bottom of the screen. And as we always say, give us a thumbs up, share, like, and make comments.
Hey, love it. That's my wife right there.
Oh,
I'm married up, yeah.
I'm so honored.
I'm married up. Okay. Other side of freedom ends our introduction to hip hop and gives you some explanation as to why we do what we call edutainment. We always are going to be using music as the universal language, and it doesn't matter what country, culture, race, sex, age, doesn't matter at all.
All right. Let me get your advice before we move forward. Those did.
Right. Right.
So,
That's all right.
okay.
We are.
So we're going to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now. Oh, no, we're not. I applied. I lied. We're going to go straight to face up.
Okay.
First page, third.
All right. So, Michael, we're going to use the image, the wonderful image of Face Up. We're going to skip over. Thank you so very much. You are so very efficient.
Okay. Prometheus Universal. Okay. We're presenting the newest way to lift your spirit, your mind, and your faith. Again, this is something that just in the past maybe month or two, I've been seeing this new device on television, YouTube advertising me this light that you're supposed to shine on your face. Mm-hmm. And this light is supposed to add moisture and do something else to stop your skin from aging. Excuse me. It's not your skin that's aging that's causing you problems. No, it is the effects of gravity on the muscles of your face. The effect of gravity on everything is to pull it toward the center of the earth. And as you go through your life, most human beings are going to have all of this start doing this. This gonna start hanging. These gonna start hanging. Now, I want everybody to look at my face. You see any sagging?
Nice and tight.
You see anything being drugged down? Do you see a bunch of wrinkles or lines? I'm 74 years old. And I got none of the signs that most people would mark as age. Because I do something that most people do not do at all in their whole life. And that is exercise the muscles of your face. If you exercise the muscles of your face on a regular basis, they will not only stay firm, round and juicy looking, they're going to maintain, against the pull of gravity, their position on your head. Now, look at my wife's face. Anything sagging? Anything? Anywhere? Does she look almost 70 years old? She is? Uh-huh. And we gonna look like this when we get to be 100. I'm serious as a heart attack. If I had started doing the exercises that I created when I was 50 some odd, if I had started doing them when I was in my 30s or 40s, oh my God, I would look even better.
Yeah.
But better late than never. Okay. Meta later. Meta late than never. I got that on the back of a jacket I wrote. Okay. Face up. Let me give you just a little bit of history. Oh no, not another self-help program. Come on, let me read that and then I'm gonna give some history. Oh no, not another self-help program that promises the moon and delivers only empty wallets and broken promises. I'm sick of them getting my hopes up on the desk and get the rocks of my daily grind. Okay. Now, a little history. I am in Maryland. I'm working for an organization that provides health care to prisons. And I'm working in about maybe 3 or 4 different prisons. 2 males, institution, 1 female. I am fired. And you know why I was fired? Because the medical director of the organization said I was listening to my patients' problems too much. And he told me, I swear before Skippy, we don't listen to their problems. We're not supposed to listen to their problems. And I looked at him and told him, you out your motherfucking mind. As a physician, that is the major tool we have, is as a health provider of any level, is to listen to what is going on with the people we're supposed to be helping. Okay. They fired me. I have never been so happy to be fired. And then for other reasons, I left Maryland and ended up going to Ferguson, Missouri, about a block and a half from where Mike Brown was killed. That's where my sister Carlene lived. And I went to live in her back room and started working for Supplemental Health Services, which was a health supply company for physicians or healthcare institutions who needed some additional healthcare. If the physician was sick or injured or wanted to go on vacation, they would send me in there to take over his practice. I would do the same things in different institutions if they had a need for an emergency room doc or a consulting physician or a supervising physician who taught other physicians how to be physicians. I was that for the National Health Care Plan in Washington, D.C. I'm sitting there doing very little, except I will go out for maybe a month or 6 weeks or sometimes 2 or 3 months when supplemental health had a need, and they always had a need. I had just come back from Ann Arbor, Michigan, when the representative called me and said, Doc, you ready to go back out? Because we got some assignments in Arizona, California, New Mexico, Florida, and Cleveland, Ohio. I said, okay. Tell you what, I'm just now starting to practice doing what God tells me, so I'm going to ask God what I should do, and I'll let you know what God says. And they said, okay. I was one of their most prized members because I was not only a doctor and an RN, I was a family practice physician by training that has worked in emergency rooms for 25 years. By experience. So they could send me into almost any situation and I was fine. And they loved that. So I go and I'm carrying on and I stop and say, okay, let me ask God, what should I do? I've got to go back out and do something. So let me ask God, God, should I go to California? Nothing. God, should I go to Arizona? Nothing. God, should I go to Cleveland? What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Nobody. Cleveland's what they threaten you with. You better straighten your ass up. We're sending you to Cleveland. The river just burnt out. Nobody wants to go there. God, are you sure? Yeah. And God does that thing again, yeah, where he sends all this energy, yeah. And you know that, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, he, she, yeah, that's
yeah,
so
he.
true.
Thank you very much, baby. I love my wife for correcting me like that. He, she. So, I tell my sister, okay, I'm going to be going to Cleveland for about a while. I don't know. Because whenever you get assigned to a place, you can go there and refuse the assignment. And you no, I ain't staying here. I'm going home. And they had to get somebody else. So I drove to Cleveland, Ohio. And as I got to Cleveland, Ohio, I'm in Dead Man's Curve on Highway 90, which turns right by the lake. And I look out at the lake. And all of this energy was just out there. Oh, it was so beautiful and powerful. And I felt all of this strength. And I was saying, damn.
I felt the same way when I moved here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I got to the city and I saw all these young children walking down the streets hand in hand.
Me too.
And these were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. I said, boy, in 10, 15 years, this place is going to be a mother. as all of these children mature. And one of the things that I saw in Cleveland that I never saw, Benjamin Simmons, what's up?
Is that Reverend Benjamin?
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, you won't believe who I've been running into.
Who you been running into?
Who that is?
Who that?
Oh, my goodness.
Benny Simmons?
Yeah.
Aha!
Let's think back to Peabody's.
Oh, this is the
Wow.
Benjamin. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Performed with us at Peabody's
Okay.
back in the day.
All right.
Okay, wait a minute now.
Geechee man. Geechee man.
Geechee man! Geechee
Yeah,
man!
because the other Benjamin that we know is Goldston.
Yes.
Reverend Goldston.
Reverend
That's
Goldston.
right. All right.
It's really Goulston,
He's
but
a
that's all right.
Geechee man from
This is Geechee man. I
North
remember.
Carolina.
Hell yeah. Geechee man!
He said, Rasolo.
Yes! That's absolutely right.
Ross Solo in the house.
Yes,
Give it
indeed.
up.
Yeah.
Where you been at, Ross? You should call in, man. Call in on that phone
Yeah,
number,
say
man.
something.
We need to
Yeah.
talk to you, man. If you got a question.
But where in the hell was I at? Because I got totally, completely lost.
Well-
I come to Cleveland, and I love Cleveland. And one of the reasons that I love Cleveland was Cleveland didn't seem to have any racial barriers. I had not thought at all that Cleveland was the first major city that had the Alkebulanese mayor. I wasn't thinking about politics or anything like that at all. But I did notice that there didn't seem to be a black section of Cleveland.
And Milton, thumbs up.
You're
Yeah,
good, Milt Hutch.
We see you. We
That's
see
not
you.
Milton. That's Milan Hutchinson.
Oh,
that's
Milan.
Milan.
Oh, thank you.
Come on.
It looks blurry.
That's
It looks
Ski.
blurry. I apologize,
Ski.
Mike.
That's
House,
Lon
too.
Ski, Mike.
He said, I love that
Ski.
song.
That's Lon
That
Ski.
is classic.
All right.
That's it. That's true.
Oh, we're so glad you joined
up
us.
for
You
Lon
said you were
Ski.
going to.
Lon Ski!
Yay.
I ain't gonna play it.
There you go. That's
Sizzle in the
it.
house, sizzle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's family. Okay.
That was a mistake, Lon.
Okay. So I get to Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Can't think of a better place to be at all. I call my father. And I call my father and I say, hey, Daddy, I'm living in Cleveland now. And he says, you're living in Cleveland, huh? I used to live in Cleveland. I went to school in Cleveland. Used to walk down this street called Woodland. Daddy, I live about 2 blocks from Woodland. Which lets me know if my father went to school here in Cleveland, he stayed with family that was here in Cleveland. It also just happens to be if I go down Martin Luther King and I keep going past Woodland and I keep going all the way to it ends, I end in a park sitting right in front of me. And that park is called Arthur Woods Park.
Right off of Martin Luther King Drive.
Now, my father's name is Arthur Woods. Arthur Carlisle Woods. I'm Larry Carlisle Woods. I got relatives here I have never known ever in my life. My father's father was a preacher, so there should be some congregation, maybe a church or two that he practiced at here in Cleveland. We still investigating that. But Cleveland seemed to be the place for me to be. So, to make this long story very short, I am going through some changes because my first wife, Teresa Ann Oliveros Labellazos Woods, died of cancer, and it jacked me up. I went crazy. I started using crack. I was trying to kill myself. I felt very, very guilty about my wife's death. As a quote-unquote healthcare provider. I'm just now, since I've gotten to Cleveland, trying to come out of all of that. I was going through drug withdrawal programs in St. Louis, at least at Ferguson. And I continued that once I got to Cleveland. I started going out to Brecksville, which had a big VA center out there, and they had lots and lots of different programs for veterans, and one was Veterans Addiction Recovery Program, VARC, Veterans Addiction Recovery, VARC. Kevin, I ain't gonna give you his last name. They let me in the program, but they let me in the program with two stipulations. Kevin said, Doc, you can't tell nobody who you are. You cannot tell anybody your titles. You can't tell anybody your degrees. You can't tell anybody your experiences. You can't tell anybody that you're a physician or a nurse. You can't tell anybody nothing about you. And we'll let you in the program. I said, cool, I can do that. Got in the program and went to a session where Kevin was teaching us about the secret of your emotions. And I'm sitting there with like about 10 other veterans, and we're all sitting there, and Kevin's out teaching us. And Kevin says, the muscles of the face are the only muscles in your body that have an efferent and an afferent nervous innervation. Now, don't let the expensive words scare you. What all of that means is the face is the only muscles in your body that have a nerve that goes to them that tell them when to contract and how much, and they have a nerve that leaves them and goes to your brain, goes to the limbic system of your brain and tells you how to feel. Now, just a little exercise to let you experience what that's like. I want everybody out there to do this. Okay, how do you feel? What's your emotional tenor like when you're doing this? You feel, for no special reason, kind of happy. That's because the muscles of your face are telling your limbic system to feel happy. Now do this. How do you feel now? You should be feeling a little perturbed, angry, upset. Though there is nothing in your world that has changed in the last 30 seconds to change you from happy to angry, except the muscles of your face. The muscles of your face tell your emotions how to feel. Just as your emotions tell the muscles of your face what to do like, what to look like, what they feel like. Oh yeah. When Kevin said that, I had heard that in nursing school, in medical school, and just about every school I'd had on anatomy and physiology. And I had at least nursing school, undergraduate work at Webster, medical school, internship and residency in Howard. I had at least 4 or 5 different levels of education and training that brought me this same information, but I had never, ever before associated it with me until Kevin explained it at VARC. And then suddenly, click, click. Oh, that makes the muscles of the face really, really special. And not just special for what you look like, but special for how you feel like. Your feelings are dictated by the muscles of your face. So it made me really, really start thinking about that, and I came up with why we have so much problem in those areas in America where primarily poor, non-pink people live. Because they always go around with their face like this. It's called the mug. And if you go in the 5th Ward in Houston or Chicago South Side or any place in Harlem, you will see thousands to millions of people wearing the mug. And they are, by wearing the mug, telling their limbic system to be angry, to be upset, to be disturbed, to be tribulational. You're going through something. Because anybody in any of those places, Chicago South Side, Houston 5th Ward, any place in Oakland, if you go around like this, you're going to get jacked. Because if you go around like this, they're going to know you don't belong there. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be trying to take advantage of your ass because you don't belong there. Like this, you can get over. And you look like everybody else because everybody else is wearing some version of the mug. So, we started researching the muscles of the face and came up with an exercise pattern called Face Up. Okay, let's go to the second slide and see what Face Up's all about. Okay, does any of that I just said sound like you? Well, prepare yourself for something that you have never experienced. A system that works because it uses the habits you already have in your life to improve your appearance, your mind, and your spirit. Prepare to face up. Ha ha! Yes, an exercise for one of the most neglected parts of your body. Everybody out there? Okay. Milt Hudson, okay. Oh, that's Milan.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like a victim. Ow! Yes, exactly. Exactly. Milan is right on it. He is definitely right on it. Yeah.
Skizzle for shizzle.
For shizzle, my nizzle. An exercise for one of the most neglected parts of your body. Who has done exercise for their face this week, this month, this year, their lives? The answer is no one. See that? Oh, come on now. Milan saying me. Yeah, right. I believe that. Face Up is a non-surgical facelift. It actually gives your face texture, muscle tone, and lift with a daily set of emotionally grounding affirmations that also work on your spirit and your mind. It has a group of non-religious spiritual exercises. These are primarily images. For each exercise, for each set of muscles, that you utilize. There is a affirmation for your mind and an image for your spirit. Face up is a trivalent exercise.
Next image.
It exercises your spirit with images. It exercises your mind with affirmations and exercises your body with exercises. All of the muscles of the face have a two-way connection to the brain, as I explained before. Motory, to make the muscles move, and sensory, to make your limbic system feel some emotion. Cranial nerves have a motor component that moves muscles and a sensory component that relays information back to the brain, specifically the limbic system, caudate nucleus, nucleus accumbens, and several other nuclei in the limbic system, to make you feel an emotion. Okay.
Hey, Doc.
Uh-huh.
At any time, I just want to tell the audience who's listening, if you got any questions, you can go ahead and type it in the chat.
Yeah.
Or you can also call in at the number that's actually blinking on the screen.
Right on the bottom of the screen. And we'll get you on the show. I definitely did. Now, the muscles of the face affect emotions. We already did tests for anger and tests for happiness or joy. All of these things are normal emotions, normal states of emotions that your facial muscles convey to others that you are going through. Practicing these exercises gives you not only practicing those emotions, but the images that kind of help you become the you you're supposed to be. Okay, go on to the next slide, please. Okay. Face Up focuses on spirit, mind, body. I was just explaining it to you. A movement for the body, for specifically the muscles of your face. Affirmations for the mind. Spiritually enhancing visualizations that allows you to practice using your spirit to visualize. I can forget the affirmations. I can even forget some of the muscles I'm supposed to utilize, so that's not usually something that happens to me. But what I never do forget is the images. The images I not only do not forget, they help to trigger in me memory of what the affirmation and the exercise was. I bring up the image and boink, there it is, the whole exercise in one shot. Next slide, please. What do you need for this technique? What are the predominant emotions in our society? Happiness, anger, joy, disappointment, sadness. What facial expressions are accepted and acceptable? Under what circumstances? As a male, I was told never to cry. Babies cry. Men don't cry. Real men don't cry. That's stupid. Crying is a way that your mind uses to release the waste of the emotions that it has just felt. When your mind feels a strong emotion, it is using specific chemicals, serotonin, L-tyrosine, a whole bunch of other psychoactive chemicals to make you feel the emotion. When your mind breaks those chemicals down, those chemicals are now waste that your mind, your brain, has to get rid of. And it puts it here. This is where your tear glands are. And it makes them flow across your eyes and go down these nasolacrimal ducts into your nasolacrimal area. It ends up in your nose. Mm-hmm. That's why your nose stops up and yeah, all that stuff when you cry. This is emotional waste you need to get rid of in order to have your mind function accurately, effectively, and efficiently. If you do not get rid of this emotional waste, your mind backs up. Your mind has problems with emotions. Your mind has difficulty experiencing those states that would normally lead you to tears. Because you have all of this waste chemical backing up in your tear ducts. There's no room. And this is reflected back to your mind. Okay, can we go back to that slide again, please? What are the effects and benefits of the normal physio-emotional state of these expressions? When you start doing face up, you will notice that certain areas of your body need it more than others. For most people, okay, that's the area of your cheeks, the area between your mouth and your cheekbones, and the area around your nose. What are the effects of face up? Better tone physically, more awareness emotionally, better control of your emotional state, and a whole lot less disruption of your spiritual matrix. That is what we get to experience as a result of doing these exercises. But we can do these exercises because, Milan says, good, going down. Look at that. Laughed and smiled. I laughed and smiled. Yes, he did. I bet you did. Okay. Our ancestors had to go through a whole lot of tears and a whole lot of emotions to go from where pink people put them as non-human slaves to where they left us as human leaders.
Wow.
Of both this country and the world.
Jazzy Tia says, "Is that Masai?" No, it's not Masai.
No, that's not Masai.
He's not here. He may be watching. He was invited, but that's not
yes, Masai. Well, we can talk about it.
Greetings, Tia.
Yes,
Glad
Tia.
you join us.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I love
That's
this
probably
stuff.
Tyra.
Ty,
It is Tyra.
if that's you,
Yeah.
then you already know.
She does.
We love you too.
She does. She better. You better. Okay.
Jazzy Tia or Tyra, whatever your name is today. Do you have a question for the Ask Doc show? We're talking about hip hop.
While we're waiting on that,
Salvation.
yes. While we're waiting on that, put up the next slide.
There is no next.
Yes, it is. There's one of the muscles of the.
Okay. Oh,
yes,
there
that
he
you
is.
asked
Yes,
me
baby.
to.
I did ask you to do
Yeah.
that. Okay. These are the primary muscles that we're going to be working with. Zygomaticus major, I like doing. That's your kissing muscles. You got the minors that goes off of that, and it actually leads to you doing a smile. The mentalis and the craniopharyngeus. Those are some of the largest muscles in your body, other than your muscles of your thigh. They are the biggest muscles. The sternocleidomastoid, that's that muscle that goes from your, it's just what it says, from your sternum across your clavicle, and it connects behind your ear at the mastoid process. Yes, that is the big muscle that actually controls your head to a large degree. Makes you turn your neck, makes you depress your head, makes you pull it back. Sternocleidomastoid. Each of these groups of muscles has a specific exercise, a specific affirmation, and a specific visualization that goes along with that. But right now, I want to give you some insight into how you got to get these muscles and how you have arrived at the place that you call your life. it ain't through you. It's through those ancestors who had to come through so much challenge to become artists. Artists in the kitchen, artists with paint, artists with music, artists on the dance floor, artists just walking down the street. I love it. And as every artist,
After
okay,
this song, we'll take that call.
we'll take that. We got a call. We're going to take that call right after we sing this song called The Artist Pays the Price.
Yes.
All right now.
The artist pays a price, so you don't have to pay. If only you would listen to what he has to say. There are songs from wisdom, there are songs from hating, there are songs from loving, and there are songs from Satan. There are songs from lust, there are songs from pain. Some songs are done by children men, some men insane. Move children, groove on the line. One time, move children to the right side. Advance children to the light. We're looking good. Oh, advance children to the light. Some songs will show you which way to go. If only you would listen.
Listen up.
There are songs will turn you on, show you how much is missing. Songs we're meant to listen to, be checking out the best. Good songs were sent to man from God to help us pass the test. Life is for learning, and the purpose is joining up with the Lord. 1,000 bodies needed, but your soul is never destroyed. Your love, darling, this is all you require. And all you want is a little understanding. Today, sometimes storm can prophesy a warning from the master. Make your soul listen to him to make your learning faster. The devil has a special plan to make hot songs for sinners. Then God will turn it around, make good songs for winners. Hey, you know some songs can corrupt your flesh to dust. The only song that you can live are the songs that you can trust. The artist pays a price. Oh, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? The Jazzy Kid say, sing it, dog.
All right now.
I was. Okay, we got a caller. Is there a caller on the line?
Yes, hi. It's Shelly
Oh my
K.
God, it's
Greetings,
Shelly K.
Shelly K.
Shelly K. One of my favorite folks.
Greetings, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hey, Mick.
Shelly K, what's
If you can hear
happening?
me.
Give it up for Shelly K, y'all.
Yeah. That's her.
Oh, shout out to Micah as well. She's back there.
Yes, Mike, good. She's there.
Yeah.
She ill. She ills.
So, yeah, I had kind of it's not even, it's a question and a half, I'll put it that way.
Okay. You get two.
First, okay. First question I have is how to effectively calm your nervous system. And the second question, well, half a question is the different functions of the brain. What are the different functions of the brain and how to use them effectively
Okay.
throughout the day?
Okay, good. Two questions. Let's start with the first one. uh, which basically is, how do you stop feeling bad? You stop
Yeah.
entertaining visions, images that make you feel that way. You feel that way because there is something in your spirit that you are looking at. It may be a fear of what might happen. It may be a particular person that you don't like. It may be a job or a chore or doing something that you don't enjoy. Whatever it is, that is what is making you feel that way. Now, change that image and you change how you feel. This is what human beings have been doing since the beginning of time. When they have a challenge, how do I get past this? How do I get over this? They're trying to visualize with their spirit an image that allows them to not worry about this challenge. And when that image comes up, oh yeah, I know what I'll do. Now they don't feel bad. No matter what the challenge was, no matter what the thing they had as a negative image, they changed it when they came up with a solution. And there are always images that are solutions. One of the things that I'm telling everybody to do is to get in touch with your ancestors. Get in touch with those who came before you, who are watching your progress with not just interest, but with bated breath. Because you are their inheritance. And I often visualize my mother, my uncles, my grandfather, any of my ancestors. I will visualize them and they will give me something. They will send me an image. One of the differences between this reality and the reality that you go to when you die is that because you no longer have a body, you can't use the things that bodies possess, like lungs, a throat, tongue. They don't talk very much in a wuo. That's the place that Akans say is where we go when we die. But they send images. They transmit images from their spirit to your spirit. And when you go and do a dream, that's what happens. The ancestors send you images there, and rarely ever words are talking. No, you are sent images and experience those images. And it is changing the image that changes your emotion. Now, second question was, I forgot.
The parts of your mind.
Oh, parts of your mind. Okay, that's going to be very, very, very involved and difficult. I will give you three general areas. You have. Okay, who was that? Was that KK?
That was me.
Okay, all right. General areas. You have when a human being is created, when a sperm and an egg come together, one of the first things that happens is that the fertilized ovum starts to multiply its cellular number and it divides into three different types of tissues. One is ectoderm, that's for everything that's outside of your body, including, believe it or not, your bones. Endoderm, and this is most of the organs of your body and the structures that connect these organs together. And last is neuroderm. Neuroderm is what your brain, spinal cord, and melanin is made from. The color that makes us what we are is a nervous tissue. The neuroderm separates itself into what neurologists call the old brain, the reptile brain, and the new brain. The old brain is the brain that controls your vital signs. This is what controls your heart rate, your lung functioning, the volume and grade of your blood vessels, how they open up or close down. All of that is controlled from old brain.
And it's in the back.
Yeah, it's in a place called the pons. And the pons is the portion of your brain that is right above your spinal cord. It's a fat section of your spinal cord that leads into the rest of the whole brain. Then you have the coordinating facilities. These are the parts of your mind that take the information that all of your organs bring it and decide what state you're in. And as a result of that state, what you need to do. This ends up in the limbic system, where you make decisions on what you see, what you feel, what you taste, what you smell, what's touching you, all of the senses that you have, and your experience, your history. All of this stuff is used to make decisions on what you should do based on the circumstances you are now in. And last but not least is the new brain. The new brain is right here. The new brain is the most forward, highest portion of your brain. This is where morals are. This is where connection to your higher power is. This is where, quote unquote, your third eye is located, even though it comes from your limbic system. Its focal point is in your frontal lobe. The front of your brain is the new brain, and that's the brain that you must use to get to meta status and to climb above where you are now.
It's the area also where you're connected to your okra.
Yes.
That is your father's mother's people.
Well, you can actually connect to all of your ancestors through the frontal lobe. It is a more direct connection to your okra than anything else, because that's your God sense. But you can use that to connect to your sun. You can use that to connect to the principles of your entoro and things like that.
Oh.
Okay, Shirley, did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does, and it's so fitting right now, because when you mentioned the okra and also connecting to our ancestors, it's funny because right now I'm making my grandfather's famous chicken stew.
Yes.
And it has okra in it too.
And it has okra in it too. Okay, no, you're okay.
We'll be over tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. We gotta close the show down now. I gotta go eat. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have not. My wife eats once a day, and we have not eaten today at all. And you talking about food, especially with okra? Oh yeah. Thank you so much, Shelly.
Thank you, Shelly K.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all,
Peace, y'all.
people.
All right, peace.
Thank you, Ben
Hey, Doc.
Simmons.
Hey,
Yes,
Doc,
sir.
Ben Simmons says, "Oh no, Doc, I must be sick. Your boy always smiling, or even when I'm pissed.
Unless even when he pitched. Yeah, you
Okay.
sick. Ben, you sick. I've been
Habit.
telling you that for the longest.
Sick
but-
in a good way."
Yeah, in a good way. Well,
Doc.
you sick, I'm strange.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I got a question, Doc.
Come on, answer this question,
One-
and then
just
I'm
one.
leaving.
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
How does what Shelly K was asking?
Mm-hmm.
and you responded about controlling your the visuals
Mm-hmm.
that come to you. That's how you control
Your emotions.
Your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
How does that relate to what this whole topic of the show is about? Hip hop, the salvation, and the music that's out here today.
Absolutely. The music that's out here today is different music than what started hip hop. Again, I'm earlier today. I'm listening to all cutchin and bitch and pussy and all this good stuff that is blaring loudly through my neighborhood, and I'm supposed to live in one of the better neighborhoods in not just Cleveland but all of the United States.
He meant to spell out that word, so
Yeah,
P-U-S-S-Y.
I really did. She wanted me to, but no, I didn't really want to spell it out. My first job was to kill people for the United States Army. I cussed like a sailor because that's what I was. I cussed like a soldier because that's what I was. I cussed like, yeah.
Which is healthy for him. It's our station. They put limits on what you can say.
That's true. That's so very true. But let's get back to your statement.
Question.
Your question. Okay, can you be any more specific in the question as far as what direction do you want your answer to take? Is it personal? Is it cultural? Is it social? What direction? Can you restate that question?
I really want to say all the above, but
That's what I was afraid of.
but let's just go social, because right now I think the music that they're promoting and really pushing is really affecting the social,
Yes, it is.
cultural, and personal.
And personal. It is doing all of that stuff as music is supposed to do. Again, go back to our beginnings when we first brought out the salvation of hip hop. We were talking about the general effect of all music on all of mankind since mankind first became Homo sapiens sapiens. We have been beating on drums and plucking strings for millions of years. Why? Because that is a means by which we can control both how we feel, how we react, and how we are living our lives. Some people get into a state where all they do is want to hear sad songs. And they will sit up and listen to these tear jerkers and cry because that's what they feel they need. Other people will go into songs that always talk about hurting somebody and being rowdy, gangsterish. Yeah, that's kind of how some people feel, especially pink males. This is what most cowboy songs are about, country and western. Yeah. But in any case, whatever the type of music, the desire is to listen to this music, get your limbic system stimulated, and find the emotional resting place that music sends you, so that you can enjoy not just being there, but enjoy the trip, going and coming.
Now,
Does that make sense, my brother?
Yeah, we might have a part 2 to this because
Let's do.
that really didn't answer. That wasn't really what I was touching upon.
That's why I asked you to get a more clarified question.
Well, I'm just saying the music, the images, I guess, that people are listening, the music that they're listening to has a lot to do with their images that they're listening to today. And I think it's in direct relation to some of the challenges and issues and obstacles that especially, I don't want to say youth, but anybody immature listening to it face by listening and acting upon that.
Yes, sir. I totally and completely agree with you, my brother, but I thought I kind of gave a little bit of credence to that
A little bit.
real early in my discussion, but
Well,
yeah,
we
we
want to
probably
say
need this
to
part too.
Nicole,
And Louis Young, Lord.
we want to call y'all
Macon,
out,
Georgia.
Louis. Yeah. Now
That's
listen,
Brother
you
Lou,
two.
sweet brother Numph.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Nicole, go ahead and type your question in. We'll respond to it after the show. We don't want to leave you without an answer to your question, but you didn't type it out yet. So
Yes,
do that
please.
for us, and we'll respond to Louis next time as well.
Yes.
Rational
rational
What is he
self-analysis. No, it's not akin to rational self-analysis. Though they both have some of the same principles, it is not akin to rational self-analysis at all. It is more toward self-loving, self-caring, and self-elevating. Using your spirit to elevate your mood is something that is a basic component of humanity, but it is not taught, it is not understood, it is not educated. People are not educated to that in any place, in any school, and anywhere. Nicole says, I find that men say they are dating women in other countries due to them being masculine. No, that's bullshit. However, I feel due to the capitalist society we live in, it's hard to maintain gender roles. Huh. You have a point, Nicole. Now, I would like to say that that point, it gets kind of sharper or duller based on which culture you're in.
Wow,
But you got
that's
a
Nikki.
point.
That's Nikki Nicole. Used to work with us.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, Nicole.
What's up,
Yeah.
Nicole?
Oh. My question, when women are being taken out of their natural role by men because men are not keeping them, because men are not keeping them, do you believe in natural gender roles? Natural gender roles. Huh. Yeah, I do believe in natural gender roles. But those natural gender roles are things that are placed on the gender by their circumstances and situation. It is placed on them by, what do you got to do to stay alive? What are the challenges to being happy or full or safe or any of those things like that? Those challenges have to be addressed. Who is best equipped to address those challenges? If it requires physical strength, endurance, certain amount of courage, men should do it. If it requires deep thinking, if it requires an understanding of a lot of different factors, women should do it. If it requires a total and complete lack of fear, women should do it, not men. And that is what nature naturally dictates, that someone with those skills, abilities, and let's just say it, sexually assigned strength should be taking those roles up.
That's kind of what you was talking about earlier today.
Yes, sir. Okay, I gotta go home.
Thank you all for joining us
Everybody,
tonight.
we are so
Thank
happy.
you
Yes.
So very, very,
Good job,
very,
y'all.
very much. And next week, we're going to continue Face Up, OG Shanks' comedy special, and soulful album release plan. Voila! When the truth to do. Joe Little gonna be there. Russ Arrogant, Ulysses, It's gonna kill.
Yeah.
Brian Wynn, Jen. Oh yeah,
That's
Showtime.
Mother's Day, right?
Oh,
Ryan
yeah.
Weiss, hey y'all gotta
Ryan
come.
Weiss.
Everybody listening gotta come
Yeah.
to this, man. It's gonna be a phenomenal show.
Absolutely.
OG is coming out, and not in that way. Pause. But why lie when the truth would do?
Uh-huh.
He's gonna expose everything, man. Y'all gonna find out about
Every
what's
lie.
been going on in his life, and his his story is so deep.
It is.
And it's his
It
album
is.
release
It
party
is.
also. So his album is called The Book of Job, and
Absolutely.
it's oh man, we
It's
got some,
unreal, y'all.
we got a
y'all
song
see
with
that.
Joe Little. That's why he's gonna be there performing Thug Life with us.
Come on now.
We're gonna have some merchandise. We're gonna have some other comedians. All these comedians is on fire.
Yes.
And then you also got
Especially
the
you,
host,
Julius.
Arrogant. Everybody know Arrogant, man.
Yes.
He done hosted quite a few things from it. We go way back. And then we don't have the latest flyer on here. We actually got DJ Jack C in the house.
Yes, indeed.
So it's gonna be spectacular. Y'all
It
go
is.
ahead and get y'all tickets now. We
Now, you
almost
better
sold
get 'em.
out.
Come on now.
Because you paying $35 at the door if you don't see that small print right there.
Yes, indeed. Come on, get
25 now,
25 from
35
us
at
right
the
now.
door.
Call
VIP
us.
is $50.
Yeah.
VIP.
And yeah, we're gonna be there at VIP.
Y'all can call right there. The
Call
phone
the
numbers.
number. Uh-huh.
Actually, call 216-355-7505 for any tickets that you
Yes,
need.
please.
You can also go on Eventbrite, or you can go on our Facebook page, Why Lie When the Truth Will Do. Just
There
type
you
that
go.
in Facebook, and you can find out how you can get there.
All right.
Saturday, May 11th, Mother's Day weekend. If you ain't doing nothing for Mother's Day,
Come on.
you better be here.
Come
or be
on.
square.
That's the spot. Okay, and now our spot is over. And my wife and I must, as we normally do, wish you peace, which stands for
Proper education always corrects error.
Oh, you made it to the end of the video. Well, I am tired a little bit differently. I'm dressed as Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind
Thanks
for having us on your minds.
Peace.